You learn all the time. It's not a good thing. It's not a good feeling. It's really hard, but we have to take the positives and the negatives, like in every other game. So let's focus on everything we are doing. Recover all the players to be fresh on the next game, and you go again, full stadium with our fans, and we are going to succeed. We need a little bit.
We'll get back to Ruben Amorim's defiant reaction to the 2-0 loss against Arsenal in just a second. But before we do that, remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And please, I'd like to hear what you think in the comments. If you've got any questions, any concerns, if you are angry about something, if you think I'm talking rubbish, please put it in the comments. Anyway, what I want you to think about while you're listening to Ruben, what can he do to get this team to gel, to really click into gear? Because, you know, there's potential there. I mean, the squad's ideal for Ruben Amorim's style, provided everyone's fit and raring to go, of course. But what do you think that he can do to get this team purring like a Rolls Royce? Think about that and put it in the comments. But anyway, here's Ruben Amorim, his reaction after the Arsenal game, where United get beat 2-0 in his first ever defeat. And listen up after the clip for my thoughts on the match as well. Here's Ruben.
So Ruben, how do you assess that performance?
Was a good first half. We lack a little bit aggressivity in the near the opponent box, but we control very well the game. We had the ball. We managed to go with the ball step by step during the game, and you feel it in the end of the first half. You hear in the stadium they had a lot of problems to create a situation like us. And then in the second half, with the set pieces, change the game, change the momentum. We try it, but we couldn't do to manage to score.
You've said that this is obviously a process. We're learning bit by bit each game. Do you think the positives in the first half have benefited in the long term? Yeah,
of course. Like the last game. Let's not focus just on the result. Let's focus on the performance. We have to improve a lot, but we have 2 weeks, and we will have time to work on everything. There's a lot of games, more games than trainings in this moment, but I felt, especially in the first half, we did a good job.
And then let's focus on the positives then. Obviously, it was great to see Lenny Yoro back as well, competitive debut. We've said this about the rotation so many times, but it's so good to see the variety of players and you get to combine different personalities together on the pitch.
It's not that I like to change all the time, but if you see the game, Mason Mount cannot do the full game because we have to be careful in this stage. Harry Maguire has to leave the pitch no matter what. Lenny Yoro, we have to control the time that he play. We did the same with Luke Shaw. We did the same with Ty Malacia. We have to control the time. In this moment, we have to manage a new idea, winning games, and try to maintain all the players fit. So it's a difficult period. But like I said, let's focus on the performance and then think about the next game.
And finally, obviously, despite the result, there is so many things to learn, as you said there. When you do lose, though, do you get more opportunities to learn and get to see how much there is obviously to grow, especially ahead of the next game?
Yeah, you learn all the time. It's not a good thing. It's not a good feeling. It's really hard, but we have to take the positives and the negatives, like in every other game. So let's focus on everything we are doing. Recover all the players to be fresh on the next game, and you go again, full stadium with our fans, and we are going to succeed. We need a little bit of time.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy the game. I thought it was a bit chaotic, to be honest. I think we were missing Martinez and Menu because I think they would have been able to get hold of the game a little bit for us anyway. I mean, we had Mazraoui, De Ligt and Maguire in defence. And, they were fine. I mean, they were fine. I didn't necessarily think anyone played badly at all for us today. It was just all over the place. I mean, I didn't think Arsenal played that well. I think they got lucky with their 2 goals, really. Their goalkeeper made an absolutely fantastic save from Matthijs de Ligt's header. I thought that was looping into the top corner, but that goalie clawed it away, reminiscent of David De Gea. So fair play to him. I mean, Onana made a couple of good saves as well. But, yeah, I mean, we have Bruno and Ugarte in central midfield. Yeah. In a game like this, I'm not sure that was the best choice. We needed someone to grab hold of the game and control it from midfield today. And that would have been good for Cobby, I think. But then again, I mean, even having Casemiro in there with Ugarte would have been a stabilising presence as well. And then just allow Bruno to sort of have a free role in one of the number 10 positions. But, I mean, again, I'm not even necessarily saying, again, that Bruno played bad or anyone played bad. The effort was there, and that's what I like to see. It was just a little bit difficult to do anything. It was nice to see Malacia get a game. He looked nippy. Yeah, he was good. Well, he was good considering it was his first game in 3 years. I mean, he's been at the club since Ten Hag's first season, I think. And I think he's played about 4 games in that entire time. Bless him. I hope he gets a run of games, especially now that Luke Shaw's injured as well. Because Malacia was at one point one of the most promising young left-backs in world football when we bought him. So I'd like to see him fulfill that potential and maybe learn a thing or two. And I don't see why he can't, because Dalot was the same. He was one of the most promising right fullbacks when he first signed for us, but he suffered a lot with injuries. But he seems to have overcome them, so touch wood on that. But yeah, he was fine. Mazraoui fine. De Ligt fine. Maguire fine. Ugarte, Bruno fine. We just couldn't really penetrate too much. Dalot was a little bit unlucky. Maybe should have done better with his effort that fizzed across goal. Mason Mount looked good. I say he looked good. I mean, he looked feisty. He was getting stuck in. And for a player that's always injured and who's made of glass, it's nice to see that he played with no fear. He looked rusty. He certainly looked rusty. But that sharpness will come back with games. So I hope he gets a run of games as well. That's what we want. There's certain players in that team, like Malacia, like Luke Shaw, like Mason Mount, who, they've been out for so long. And they are good players. They just need match sharpness. And that whole team seemed to suffer from not being used to each other, particularly in this new formation as well, this 3-4-3. And he's constantly chopping and changing at the moment to keep players fresh, because it is an intense style. So there's that component as well. So, if players are not known if they're going to be playing week in, week out, or game in, game out, then it's going to be difficult for them to get a flow. And it's easier against teams like Everton, especially at home, to express yourself a little bit. But I think this Arsenal game just came a little bit too early for Amorim, for these players in this new system. But even then, we weren't too bad. It was just just came a little bit too soon, and we were just kind of hanging by a thread a little bit against a well-drilled, well-oiled side that's been together now for a couple of years, that knows what they're doing, all the players know what their jobs are, they all know what everyone else's jobs are, so a lot of things are second nature, and we just don't quite have that yet. But there was promise there. Didn't really see much from Garnacho. Højlund put the effort in, that was fine. Already spoken about Mount. Bruno, I mean, fine. I mean, he nearly set up, he provided a good assist for De Ligt, who nearly scored, so that was nice to see. Bruno's set pieces seem to be improving, because sometimes it can be a little bit hit or miss sometimes, but that was actually a good opportunity. I've spoke about Malacia, Dalla, fine, maybe should have scored. Midfield, maybe could have done with Casemiro in that game today. But I'm not too downhearted. I'm looking forward to the Forest game at the weekend. Hopefully that should be a good opportunity for us to sharpen up in the new style against a so-called lesser side anyway, and hopefully get 3 points. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, what did you guys think of the game today? Do you see any promise there? What were the pluses? What were the negatives for the game for you? Please put them in the comments.